I went to Homeless Connect looking for some help.
I came to the Homeless Connect to wash people's feet.
I went to Homeless Connect to volunteer.
My mom was 16 when she had me, so my grandma took me home from the hospital and pretty much raised me. My life was just, rocky from the very beginning. I just remember always being in trouble. When I was 12, I was kidnapped and beaten and raped. I started using drugs. I started smoking weed and drinking alcohol to, hide the pain. I didn't care anymore. The pain was so bad that I just started using more and more. When smoking weed and drinking wasn't enough, I turned to meth. And the first time I used was with a needle. So I pretty much have been a junkie for the last 20 years. And I couldn't get sober. Nothing helped. I was in and out of jail so much that it was pathetic. Being homeless is hard. It's hard. It's lonely, it's cold, it's miserable. Nobody wants to be homeless. I've been homeless for too long. I heard about Homeless Connect from a lady named Linda at City Vibe. She handed me a flyer and said, hey, you should check this out. They got a lot of resources. They had dental and medical and clothes that could really help you out. When I got to Homeless Connect, I was walking around looking at all the booths and stuff, and Union Gospel Mission had a foot clinic. And he said, why don't you go get your feet washed first? So I went over to the foot care place, and who do I see but my good friend Christine.
I've had the blessing of being able to wash people's feet for 3 years at the Homeless Connect. I figured that I had washed about 100 feet that day, and it was mid-afternoon. And lo and behold, there was an old friend of mine from the streets. I was so excited that I was going to wash her feet.
Christine and I met 5 years ago under the bridge. We were both homeless, and we used to sit under the bridge and drink beer. And now I'm looking at her wash my feet. Next thing I know, she's telling me that she goes to church. She has all these wonderful things going on in her life and that she's been clean and sober for years.
This is a girl who knew the old Christine, and she was getting to see the new Christine. And then I heard some women voices out in the hallway, and God told me to bring them in to pray with me. So I had asked Susie, would you mind if I called these ladies in? And when I went to the hallway, I realized that it was my friend Julie and Tina.
Christine kind of came out of nowhere, and she was in the middle of washing a gal's feet and asked if Tina and I would come and pray with her. And so we went into the gym area where she was, and we met Susie. As we were praying and talking and sharing, we found out that she had been on drugs and alcohol, and she was sort of overcome with emotion. She was trembling, she was crying, she was shaking.
When they were praying for me, I felt something that I had been looking for my whole life. I felt like people actually loved me. I felt like the hand of God was reaching down and touching me.
And at that moment, I saw Susie change from the girl that I seen drinking under the bridge with to a young, beautiful child.
Christine and Susie have shown me they are living examples that your life can turn around. I mean, it's amazing to see where they are today.
I walked into Homeless Connect thinking that I was gonna get my teeth cleaned, a clean pair of socks, food in my belly, and maybe a high blood pressure check. And I walked out with brand new friends and a new life.
Fast forward to today. Hanging out, going to the same church, doing things together, investing in each other's lives.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing.
If it wasn't for Homeless Connect, I would have never met Christine or Susie, and I would have never had the friendships that I have today with them.
For Julie, my relationship really blossomed was right after my mother's death, and I started going to Salem E, and she was so authentic about the way she greeted me, and she's always just a phone call away. What's special about our relationship is that it's so authentic. I don't have to pretend of who I am and where I came from. I've never in my life had this real of a friendship.
It was awesome.
Just ate your hair.
That's really what relationship is all about, if you think about it. I mean, the best friendships that I've ever had in my life are those that you can be real with. I mean, what's the point of having a relationship or a friendship if you can't bear your heart and soul, the good and the bad?
Just being in a relationship with Julie and Christine, I know what it feels like to be loved now.
I've always known Susie to be a good-hearted woman, even back in the day when we weren't good-hearted people. Today, I look at her and she's beautiful in every way.
I was searching for a kind of love that I never knew. And now that I have met you and your church family, I feel more love in my heart. I feel a different kind of love, a real love.
I don't want to sound rude or offend nobody because food and blankets are always nice. But the answer to homelessness is open hearts and open minds. Love and compassion will get homeless people a lot further than the food and the blankets.
When you're homeless, what you're really looking for is people who will stop and listen, compassion, not just a reaching out hand, but a reaching out heart.
I went to Homeless Connect to give, but I'm the one that received. I have been transformed.
Homeless Connect is not just one day. It can be hope, healing, and lasting relationships.
I went to Homeless Connect looking for services. What I found was a road to recovery, healing, a new life, but most of all, love.